Hi guys, today we're going to learn on how to fix the problem of submit button not working. But now we're gonna be using JavaScript. So if we click here and try to punch in some stuff here, and here, perhaps we want to add on another row. We can add a row, click. When we submit or we say save payment, this information should come here on this page and be displayed here, but it was not getting posted into the DB. So the issue was this for me, but some guys said they named this button, the submit button, submit, and said that name is what reserved. Sometimes if you use you name your name submit, it's not going to work sometimes in JavaScript. So but let's go and see. Is the submit button. Yeah, this is the button. They say they gave this button name submit, like submit here. So I changed it to submit button, whatever I want to name. I didn't name it like this, like submit. Some people did say type submit, name submit, ID submit. So I really don't know. In my case, that wasn't the issue. Because I'm using PHP and jQuery plus Ajax, so the code to submit to PHP is here. So I called my button here and I said button dot click function, yes. Then I come here and say my form dot submit function. I used these two functions. I wonder if it's necessary to use two, but those what I used. So, and it works 100%. So, and I say I call this event.preventDefault. So it stops, this line stops the browser to post into the PHP the way it has to, like in the default way, whereby you click submit button, then it's gonna go. Then to ignore this code if you do that. So but if you do this, it won't do that. It will come and use this code. So then I did assign this to my form. Then I serialized what the data. I come and go into Ajax. We're gonna use the post method, then the URL, we use this, then action. So we're going to intercept that action into the form. We put it here. Then this is our data. So this could work, and this was working 100%, but I didn't think that it was working because it kept on non posting into the DB. So now here I use the fade in fade out method. It's not that necessary, but it's gonna help us to see when the form is posted. But this line and this line and this line, even if they are not there, this only code is gonna work and post into your DB. Only these few lines, these few lines. Anyway, this is the code which works on posting into the DB. This one is the only code works in there. So I spent a day trying to fix this, thinking my code has a problem. But when I used the alert function, I could get data displayed into the alert. But now I said, okay, if data can be displayed here, which means it has passed this process of going to the database, but it was not being posted in there. So I told myself, what could be the problem? So I tried to make some investigations, but I could not get out. So the only thing I got, somebody said, I named this button submit instead of naming it something else. I tried to do that. It was the same thing, but anyway, my issue was here, something simple. This is my PHP. Let's test this first. I'm gonna post. I wanna see information here. Okay, this is the info we want to post. Let's make it simple. Money is gonna be 100, and we make here also 100. Now we make it 200, and we make it this, and here we can make it books, and now we're gonna post pay. Yes, this, you see this fees paid successful. So now this is where it comes in. When we post this form, the entire form gets fade away. It goes away. Then this message comes in which says successful what fees. This is the div which says fees paid successful. This is the one which comes in the place of what of the form. Then also we get a click to go back. So you can see this, it's a click to go back. Okay, anyway, let's see if we got our data on here. When I refresh, yes, I got, we paid 100 and also we paid 200. Did that. This code works 100%. Anyway, that's fine. But now I'm gonna show you what made the code not to work. Something simple. When we look at submit, no, we're gonna look at something else. We're gonna say submit button. Yes, this was the issue. So it can, remember, it's not posting the way it has to post. So now this is set, it was on. It says if this is set, then run this. This is a button, your button, where you click to say you click to tell it to come to work or to post into your DB. So I used this button. I said if is set, which means if it's clicked, so go and execute this. So now, since I was doing that, this code was not executed because it doesn't the form doesn't post in a normal way. It just posts using Ajax. So that could make the form the form not to post. So only that button. But if I switch off JavaScript, it could work. Then I ask myself, what's going on here? So I'm gonna delete this and delete this and refresh. We don't have data here, so we want to post again with this switched on. You're gonna see. I'm gonna say post. This time I'm gonna post something like only 100 rands. Put books. Select our date. Select our date. Select our date and say membership anyway. So we save. Everything works 100%. You saw. But when we come here and refresh, you can see I'm pressing F5 to refresh. Nothing happens. There is no data posted. But if we can try to test our JavaScript here, and we go here, we're gonna test this to see if the data is, we get the data here. If we get the data, it means this is working. So we come here and we say go back, and we try to also go back here. Okay, and we're going to try to post. Okay, whatever we choose, no problem. So we say pay. You can see we get all our data. We paid 250. You can see this is 250. You can see everything is here, and the date we chose, all the dates are here. Paid by this guy, fees type equals to membership. You can see everything is 100% here. But now the conflict is, if we refresh this, we don't get nothing. So simply means this is the cause. So if you want to validate into PHP, then you're gonna find a way, but now you don't have to do it that way. So if I do comment this and my button, I'm gonna comment it. I'm gonna comment it to show you that that was the cause of that. If you use Ajax, you'd have to find a way to not use this if button is what, because you prevented the code to do what, the form to be posted in the normal way. So since that we don't see data, we're gonna test the second time and we see if we're gonna see data after switching off the that. Okay, gonna come here and click. This time we're gonna pay 1,000 and we say books and we select any date here and we say paid by that, then we trip, then we yes, also we get that data, then it fades out. Then we're gonna refresh here. You can see we get the data. So this simply means this was the problem, the only problem why we could not work with that. You get me? But it doesn't mean this button is wrong. If we switch it off, switch it on back, and we switch it on back, now we're gonna make it to be using PHP only. So we're gonna tell our form to go and use PHP. So I wonder if you guys will follow. So we're not going to use this Ajax, we want to use PHP. We're not going to post using Ajax, we're going to post using PHP. So how could we do that? How can we do that? We do go yes, we find this, the action is there, everything's fine here, but this thing doesn't work when we switch on Ajax, because Ajax is being told to make this form ignored. Understand, to make this ignored so that it goes to Ajax and work its way. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna switch off Ajax by using my by switching off here. That's the thing I want to do. Then we're gonna use PHP straight to post. So this 1,000 rands, let's delete this aware and we go back here and we try to post. Okay, let's try to post something. We're gonna put 250 or whatever. Okay, then we say membership. You can see it didn't use JavaScript. Now it posted straight to your form, your DB, and if we test that, this works. So the button is not wrong, but if you're using Ajax, so you have to switch it off, and maybe there is other way to use it with Ajax both, but that way I don't know it. So what I did, I switched that button off and I went back here and I used my Ajax, then it worked 100%. I'm gonna go back here and we use Ajax. We're gonna delete this money and we come back here and we try to do it to, oh no, I don't want that, I want this. We're gonna take 66, we say books, and we say this. And guys, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel, also to share our content. If I say yes, we get that alert, and also it tells us fees paid successfully. And when we go here, it has to be 66, and this is what we see, guys. Yeah, please don't forget to subscribe. And you saw our major problem was one, though I had somebody talking about what I did not experience. If your form that Ajax does not work for you, so one of the things you have to look into, you can follow the rules. This is the button I'm using. So if the submit button is named submit, please change it to something else first. You never know, because that wasn't my problem. So the second thing is, if you're using Ajax, go to PHP and switch off your is set button. You switch it off, then you test if it's gonna work. If it works, then good for you, because that was the problem for me. If it doesn't work, then you have to try to find some other cause of that. But anyway, you have to first get this data and alert, put the data here, and to try to alert. If the data is gonna come into that alert, it means this works 100%. Then you're gonna go do step by step. But if you want the code to use for submitting using Ajax, this is the only code. You see, remember, this is my button which I gave the ID submit button. So you connect it to the click function, saying that if this button is clicked, then you're gonna perform this. And this is my form which I named with the ID. And some people use classes. I use IDs, and it works for me. Then you put submit function, yes. Then you prevent your code here, your form here, to be submitted in a normal way. Then you can create you can assign this to this. You serialize your data, then you use this. It's something simple. So this is just fancy things to pop up and stuff, whatever, but it's not that much important, these 3 lines, understand? So guys, that was our tutorial. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.